भारतीय छात्र संसद की ओर से आयोजित इस कार्यक्रम में मंच पर बैठे हुए सम्मानित तमाम प्रबुद्धजन और पूरे भारतवर्ष के कोने कोने से आए हुए छात्र बंधु और विशेष करके ऐसे छात्र बंधु जो आज के तारीख में राजनीति से जुड़ना चाहते हैं या राजनीति के बारे में समझना चाहते हैं, उन तमाम छात्र बंधु को मेरे तरफ से ढेर सारे शुभकामनाएं। आज जो विषय पर हम लोगों को बोलने के लिए बोला गया है, यह विषय भी अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण विषय है कि 7 दशक के कालखंड के दर्पण में 7 दशक के कालखंड के दर्पण में आज का ये नया भारत निश्चित रूप से आजादी के बाद देश में जो शासन व्यवस्था लागू हुआ और जिसको आज हम लोग ढोते ढोते 70 साल पार कर चुके हैं, इस 70 साल के दरमियान हम क्या पाए, क्या खोए, इन तमाम विषयों पर आलोचना करने के लिए हम सारे लोग यहाँ उपस्थित हुए हैं। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई थिंक द भारतीय छात्र संसद फाउंडेशन, MIT School of Government, Pune, for inviting me in the 10th annual Nation in Conclave of Bharatiya Chhatra Sangsad and speak to you on the topics India in Mirror, a timeline of 7 decades. India's first Premier, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, moving resolution prescribing oath for the members of the Constituent Assembly, declared long years ago, we made a tryst with the destiny, and now the time comes when we shall render our pledge not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. Pandit Nehru further said that future is not one of easy or resting, but of insisting striving, so that we might fulfill the pledge we have so often taken and the one we shall take today. The service of India means the service of millions who suffer. It means the ending of poverty, ignorance, and disease, and inequality of the opportunity. The ambition of the greatest man of our generation has been to weep every tear for every eye. That may be beyond us, but so long as there are tears and suffering, so long our work will not be over, and so we have to labor and work hard to give reality to our dreams. What we have achieved in these 7 decades and how much we were able to make the dreams of our forefathers a reality may be a subject of historiography, and I have it for the scholar of the field to deliberate upon it, but to me, judged India in the timeline of 7 decades, is it judge our achievement vis-a-vis the promises that we made to ourselves in the preamble to the Constitution. Our preamble promises to make India a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. The founders of the Indian Republic had the freshness and the courage to commit themselves to major innovations of the historical significance in nation building and social engineering. First was to build the democratic and civil libertarian society for the population, majority of which was illiterate. And second was undertake economic development within the democratic political structure. Many of the Western scholars of the times believed that such experience will fail India as a nation, but we were able to fail this prediction and have committed to furnish in last sovereignty years our success as a democratic republic was a lesson for other newly born countries also. But can we complacent on the mere fact that we as a nation has been able to conduct election year after year, and that every citizen who has attained 18 years can vote? True, it is not a small achievement if we look at the countries who took birth with us, but mere right to vote does not certify the good health of the democracy. Decent debate and discourse are the life breath of the democracy, and stifling the genuine voice of the dissent in the nature of nationalism compromises the health of democracy. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship are not mere words but are tools to give vitality and the life of democracy. Without this nutrition, howsoever big and old the tree of democratic polity may be, it may not survive for long. Our forefathers not only provided guaranteed right in this regard, but built institutions with courage and devotion to see to it that these rights are not taken away. However, experience shows that however good system we build in the institution at times do not stand the test of time. Thus, ultimately, the people of India, who are the real sovereigns, the health of nation depends upon them, but to make the nation healthy and themselves need to become healthy not only physically but also mentally and economically. This is where lies the importance of promises of social economy and political justice and equality of the status of opportunity. Over the years, India's economic growth story has been spectacular. Today we are aspiring to become 5 trillion economy, but the question remains that what is the status of our ambition to wipe tear from the every eye? The 10th President of India, late K.R. Narayan, aptly remarked, our 3 ways: first land of the liberalization, privatization and globalization must provide safeguard, pedestrian crossing for the underpowered India also, so that it too can move towards equality of the status and opportunity. Thus, the task that was given to us by our forefathers and put in words in the Constitution of India is enormous, and a lot has to be done. We, the leaders, will have to own the responsibility first, but every citizen of India may contribute his own in nation building, and that is where the lesson of unity and fraternity has its role. Particularly you, young student, will have to remember this, because you are the real instrument of the change of politics of India. We are fortunate to take part in this country of Ram, Krishna, Buddha, Ashok, Gandhi, the country where Akbar is a great, Maharana Pratap Singh is also our, where Bismil and Asfaqullah both are eager to sacrifice their lives for our country, for our motherhood. Muhammad Iqbal aptly wrote, यूनान मिस्र रोमा सब मिट गए जहां से, बाकी मगर है अब तक नमो निशा हमारा, कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, सदियों रहा है दुश्मन दौरे जहां हमारा. Thus, in the timeline of 7 decades, much have been achieved and much more we can achieve, but we shall also the cautions to protect what we have and what is bestowed upon us by our forefathers. Thank you all.